Okay, so hopefully you have entered the paint cost spreadsheet into your own version of Excel and were able to enter the labels and the numbers into the spreadsheet. But now the really valuable part of Excel is being able to do calculations. So have it as an automatic calculator that will do calculations for us that we've set up ahead of time. And the calculations will even update if any changes happen to the data. But let's see how we enter what's called a formula into Excel. And a formula is simply some kind of calculation that we want Excel to do. So I'm going to put a label down here because I want to find out how much my whole paint job is going to cost me. So I'm going to write a label for total cost. And I want my total to show up here underneath all of these item numbers. Now, in a calculator, you would just type these numbers in, 50 plus 20 plus 10 plus 10. But we do it a little bit differently in Excel. And the way to enter formulas in Excel is a little bit backwards. So I have a step-by-step to show you. So this is in your handout on using Microsoft Excel to enter spreadsheets. And here's a simple step-by-step for entering formulas in Microsoft Excel. If you follow these instructions every time you want to make a formula, you'll have no problem getting your calculations to do what you want them to do. So in Excel, first you have to click in the cell where you want the answer to be. So wherever you want that total or any kind of calculation to show up, where you want the answer to be, that's the cell you click in. Now normally in a mathematical calculation, if you were writing it out, like on math homework, if you were taking a math class, however long ago that might have been, you would type, your calculation, like 50 plus 30, and then you would type the equal sign and type your answer. Well, in Excel, you actually type the equal sign first. It's a little bit backwards. But the equal sign is a signal to Excel that you're about to begin a formula and that it's going to have to do a calculation. So it's important to have that equal sign first. And then you're going to go find the numbers in your spreadsheet that you want to include in your formula because you've already typed them in. In the case of our paint costs spreadsheet, we already have the numbers here. So we're going to make Excel work for us and we're going to get the numbers from those cells and have Excel actually calculate something with them. Once you've clicked in the cell, then you're going to type in a mathematical operator. Now, some of them may look familiar, a plus sign for addition, a minus sign for subtraction, but a few are a little bit different. For multiplication, it's the asterisk key. And that is either holding down the shift key and typing the number 8, or if you have a numeric keypad on your keyboard, it's actually a key on the numeric keypad. So the asterisk is multiplication. So 5 times 3 would show up as 5 asterisk 3. Slash is for division. Kind of looks like a fraction. A slash would be if you wanted to divide. So 5 divided by 3 would be 5 slash 3. And then we don't use this too often, at least not in this class, but the caret is for exponents. So like 5 squared would be 5 caret 2. And a caret character is found by holding down the shift key and hitting the number 6. So you've clicked in a cell that you want to include in the formula, you've typed in a mathematical operator, and then you click in another cell that you want to include in the formula and repeat. So if you are adding a bunch of numbers together, you would click on the number and hit plus, click on another number, hit plus, click on another number, hit plus, and when you have all of the numbers in that you want, then you press the enter key when you're finished. Once you press enter, the formula will kind of disappear from the cell, and in its place will be the answer to the calculation. Let's take a look at what that really looks like in Excel. So here I have my spreadsheet here with the total cost, and let's see if I can get our step-by-steps up at the same time. So I'll rearrange my windows here so we can see our step-by-steps and our spreadsheet side by side. There we go. Okay, so step 1, click in the cell where you want the answer to be. So I want my total cost to be in this cell here. So I will click in this cell where it says total cost. Step 2, type the equal sign. So I find the equal sign on my keyboard. It's kind of next to the backspace key. Now Excel knows that I'm beginning a formula. Step 3, click in a cell that you want to include in the formula. So I want the cost of the paint to be the first number, and I'm going to click in that cell. And you'll notice what it does is it puts the cell's name in there. That's the signal to Excel that says, go look in cell B2, find what number is there, and include it in the calculation. That'll come in handy later, and I'll show you why. Step 4, type in a mathematical operator. In this case, I want a total, so I'm adding. So I'll hit that plus sign. Then it says click at another cell that you want to include in the formula. Well, the next number I want to add is this 20 for the cost of brushes. So I'll click on that. And it puts the name of that cell, cell B3, in my formula. So now you can see this is starting to make sense. It says add whatever's in B2 to whatever's in B3. But I still have 2 more numbers to add, so I'm going to repeat the steps until I have all the numbers in my formula. So I'm going to hit the plus sign again to add the next number. Click on cell B4. Click on the plus side to add the next number, and click in cell B5. That's the last number I want to include in my calculation. So the full formula is the equal sign to signal that a formula is about to begin, and then it's going to add whatever's in cell B2 plus whatever's in cell B3 plus whatever's in cell B4 plus whatever's in cell B5. So when I hit the Enter key to accept this formula is going to disappear, and in its place is the result. So 50 plus 20 plus 10 plus 10 equals 90. So Excel did the formula and did the calculation for us, just as if you had typed those numbers into a calculator. If I click on the cell, if I want to check my formula, notice that up in the formula bar, it's actually put the formula there for us, so I can go back and look at it, and that's a good way to check in case you've made any mistakes. So the selected cell is cell B6, which is showing the answer to the formula, but while that cell is selected up in the formula bar, it's showing the actual formula, and now you could proofread that and make sure that it's doing exactly what you wanted. So if you get a number that you don't expect, check that formula and make sure it looks right. Or sometimes you might see an error down here where it doesn't understand your calculation, and then you can look at your formula to see if you have any mistakes. At this point, go ahead and put your own total formula in your paint cost spreadsheet, and then head on over to the next video to see what else we can do with the spreadsheet.